welcome back to your next episode of Full Spectrum Living with CBD. My name is Meredith. I'm your co-host here with our hosts, Jessica and Adrian. And today I am stoked that we're talking about this topic because we're talking about the CBD craze, right? How come every time something comes out for consumers, we seem to just go over the top with it, and all of a sudden we're seeing it everywhere. And that's really where CBD is right now. We are seeing this stuff everywhere. And you guys want to talk a little bit about the CBD craze. So I think, Adrian, you wanted to address this topic first.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy. So we see articles or we hear new product launches where literally CBD is being put into everything. You know, it started with waters, or they were infusing it into gummies, which people kind of like, it's borderline, in my opinion, at that point. But now we're seeing things where it's being infused into clothing and into pillows. And I think that's really the tipping point for me. That's where it gets in the crazy zone for me.
Right. And so we're seeing consumers, you guys have so much more knowledge on this topic, than I do. And so how am I supposed to know, is a CBD infused pillow really going to do something for me? Or is that just somebody's really great marketing at this time of the year when we know that tons of retail dollars are going to be spent?
Well, I wouldn't even say it's great marketing. I'm just going to throw that out there. I know Jessica wanted to say something though, but go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, it's definitely some marketing in my opinion, because why would you need CBD in some of these products that we are seeing it in? It's like CBD infused spoon or whatever. Yeah. Like it's just everything. It definitely seems to be kind of just cashing in on a trend, especially when some of the more readily available and cheaper CBD options are just they're completely, they're just really cheap. So why not infuse them into everything and see if you can charge more for it, because it's a popular item. And it's just, it's very markety to me. It's cashing in on a trend.
I think it comes down to, you have to think about the reason why, right? So if you put the question why to everything that's out there, you'll kind of work your way down to not needed, right? So CBD in a pillow, for example. Well, why? Well, to sleep better. Okay, so let's think about how CBD helps you sleep better. Is it through inhalation in a product that is essentially, there's really no way that it's going to get into your system. Just smelling the CBD at that point is not going to bring you the homeostasis, the balance that your body needs to regulate your sleep patterns. So in that sense, I'm going to put a big old X, on that, saying, no, it's literally just a marketing strategy where people think, oh, it makes sense. CBD is helping with sleep. I'm going to put it on something that people use for sleep. Ding, ding. I'm going to, make some money off of that. So I think it really boils down to why. Why would CBD be in this product?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an awesome point, because we're going to start seeing it in everything. We're going to start seeing it out there everywhere. And it kind of reminds me of some of the trends that we've seen, like keto. That's been a very popular form for people to be losing weight, right? So now we're seeing keto products everywhere. And the experts in keto are saying, well, a product can't actually be keto. Right. Keto itself is a process and a lifestyle which you live by, causing your body to, then use its systems to shed this weight or whatever it might be. Right. So I think your question is perfect. Why did you want the CBD in the first place? But maybe we can back up a little bit too and say, like, what areas are you guys seeing this the most in? You've talked a little bit about pillows. You've talked a little bit about some of the products that you feel are maybe kind of subpar. But what else are you guys seeing out there that you really want to draw attention to?
I think the food and beverage industry definitely is taking off with this CBD craze. There's every coffee shop around here has some kind of CBD product that you can add to your coffee. And that's kind of another side story, but a lot of times those aren't actually CBD products. They're hemp seed oil, because there's some gray areas about if they can infuse them or not. So that's something that should be noted in this topic, is not everything that's advertised as CBD is actually CBD. There's a lot of kind of tricky labeling and false advertising going on. But coffee's it's infused in quite a lot around here, at least. And I just want to point out that although it does help some people tolerate coffee better with digestive upset, it can actually intensify the jittery feeling for some people. And that's, of course, not being disclosed to clients. So I think it could lead to some people having uncomfortable experiences because of lack of education. Just selling it as a craze product and not as a supplement that has a real effect on your body is going to lead some people to having experiences that aren't ideal for them because they weren't informed on anything when they made that purchase, unfortunately. But, CBD infused ice creams are a thing, and so is wine and gin and bourbon and CBD infused. Carl's Jr. did a 420 CBD burger in Colorado.
Wow.
There's just CBD in whatever food. So again, why are you taking it? Like, do you need it in your hamburger? Do you need it in your ice cream? Do you really need it in those products? Why not just take it effectively in a supplement form, or maybe in an edible form, but for its more therapeutic effects, as opposed to just kind of just throwing it into whatever. Because
and that makes me think too, is anything dangerous, right? I mean, so you're saying, hey, if it's in coffee, for some people, it's whatever they're putting in there, and calling CBD is making people have more of that kind of caffeinated jittery effect. But at the same time, like if I sleep on a pillow that is technically or supposedly infused with CBD, is that going to really hurt me? So are there areas where you guys are kind of like, oh gosh, there should be some disclosure here because this could be harmful?
Yeah. So when it comes to the pillow, no, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to help you either at that point. When it comes to some of the, I would say off the shelf, where you don't have a conversation with somebody, CBD waters, I think would be a great example. Maybe somebody through the grapevine heard about the benefits of CBD. They see it in a store, they grab it off the shelf, they chug it, but they're on 10 pharmaceuticals and they haven't been warned about the possibility of the pharmaceutical interaction. So that is kind of the risky thing with just putting it into everything. I would say though that I'm less offended by those that add it into coffees or ice creams, even though it's not ideal. Again, it's a therapeutic product. So you really want to think about, do you want to be getting your daily serving of CBD with ice cream? Well, that's the sugar that you're going to be taking in and so on and so forth. What really kills me is these other products, like I said, and I keep beating it, over the head, the pillow, the yoga pants, where they're talking about start your recovery before you even start your workout. Well, that's leading customers to believe that their body through their skin is going to be absorbing that CBD regularly. And I think they say it lasts up to like 40 washes. I don't necessarily know anything that stays in the washing machine or stays in your clothes 40 times other than maybe a stain at that point.
Especially not a water-soluble isolate, which is what they're using to infuse this with. But go ahead.
Absolutely. Yes, great call out. Yeah, absolutely. So when you think about this, it's kind of like that to me is taking advantage of consumers who are really looking for a benefit and may not want to take it, orally. And so they're thinking, oh, well, I might as well try this, and then paying premium for pants that are supposedly infused with a product that should help them internally.
Well, and I want you both or one of you to remind listeners, there's no governing body over this, right? It is, you've said it before, it is the Wild West.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're getting to the point to where the FDA is going to make their final statements, and there's going to be some sort of regulations that are put in place by them. Right now, it's just, we're self-regulated. It's the industry that's regulating itself, but it's causing some confusion in the marketplace for consumers, where manufacturers are fighting over terms or fighting over benefits. And so it really is kind of tricky, which is what allows them. I mean, if manufacturers can go and buy isolate from any company that out there that creates it and infuse it into anything, okay, but it does nothing to help move the CBD industry forward. It does nothing to help consumers and the reason why they are actually taking CBD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's, to me, that's the piece that I think you're really trying to highlight is, it's great that there's a craze and there's great that there's so much interest and it's great that people are open to these alternative therapies, but at the same time, put your thinking cap on so you're not in a position to be taken advantage of. And
absolutely.
If you're just really into CBD and you want a CBD infused pillow because you just want a CBD infused pillow, like great, pay a premium price. If you just are into the CBD products and you want to wash your hair with CBD and see what happens, hopefully your hair will look nice and shiny, but just keep, I think, a reality check on what it's capable of in those forms of delivery and what you're expecting of it. I mean, are you expecting benefits to your health in general from putting on a pair of pants before you exercise? Like, just rethink that, because it's very unlikely at best, I think.
And I think that there's ways that manufacturers can responsibly boost their products, their everyday products with CBD. Like, for example, maybe a lotion. We have a CBD, actually a lotion that's boosted with phytocannabinoids. So essentially the lotion in and of itself, the ingredients do what all lotions should do, right? They're moisturizing, hydrating, it's, skin repairing. It's fantastic. It makes you feel great, but it's boosted with phytocannabinoids. So it's just an added bonus ingredient that at that point is not meant to be therapeutic. We're not promising anything. Could it possibly help with some redness? Absolutely. But it is not meant to be a therapeutic product. It's not making promises on the fact that there is CBD in there. It's literally just saying, hey, we're a great lotion. Mm-hmm. So I think that there are some products out there that say that they're cannabis infused, quote unquote, cannabis infused. And they like to say, oh yeah, there's CBD in there. But when you look at their list of ingredients, it says on the ingredients, seed oil, cannabis seed oil, which is a fancy way or the cool way of saying hemp seed oil at this point, because it's not marijuana seed oil. Let's just be real, right? Mm-hmm. So it is definitely hemp seed oil. So cannabis seed oil is, like I said, the trendy way that some of these makeup manufacturers are quite possibly infusing hemp seed oil, but riding that trend in hopes to get the consumer dollars.
Well, and I like what you're saying about expectations, right? So, I think the idea of hold your expectations in alignment with what is possible with the product that you're choosing to use. Mm-hmm. Maybe a product that has CBD in an eyeshadow or a lip balm, and maybe that, hemp oil, seed oil that isn't actually CBD could be really great for my lips. I don't know. And hopefully over time, there'll be some distinctions that'll happen. How do you guys see that playing out in the marketplace? I mean, especially as more data comes out about the benefits of therapeutic CBD.
Well, I certainly would at least hope that in the near future, there'll be more clarity on labels to indicate if it's hemp seed or CBD, and specifically how much CBD is present. If you're saying there's CBD in this product, well, how much? Because it could be any number, and if you want any kind of therapeutic benefit out of it at all, that's vital to know. So I would hope that we would at least start with clearly identifying whether it's hemp seed or cannabis CBD extract and the potency of that at minimum.
Got it. So do you think that we'll get to the point where when I buy a box of crackers, for example, I have a lot of different choices when I buy my box of crackers, but every box of crackers that I buy has nutritional information on it. Do you see it heading in that direction?
Well, there's already some products out there that do have nutritional information on there. I think it's coming down to the clarity and really establishing and enforcing naming structures within the industry. So CBD extract can also be called CBD oil, can also be called full spectrum extract, can be called broad spectrum. So I think it's really hemp extract. I think it's really about defining what these mean. And as long as you're noting on your ingredients which one it actually is, so that it's very clear to the customer, this is seed, it's not CBD, or this is broad spectrum, it's not isolate, or it's not full spectrum. The ingredients that are in there, and then also the nutritional value, absolutely, like how many milligrams in there of CBD specifically, or hemp seed oil specifically at that point. I think the clearer that you can get with the consumer, the better off you're going to be.
Awesome.
And if we're going to just mass produce and market these products on grocery store shelves, I think then we really need to move forward in the industry with more education to people who are taking medications that, yeah, it could totally interact and it may not. And it very, in our experience, a significant interaction is not very likely, but it's certainly possible for someone. And without people being aware of that and being made to understand that with their purchase, then it really increases the likelihood that someone would have a major incident of interaction or something because of the pharmaceuticals they're on. And maybe that leads to lightheadedness, and maybe that leads to a fall or a break, or that is within possibilities when you're using it without any kind of guidance as to what to expect and how to use it properly. I mean, how much did you just take? Was it 1,000 milligrams? You know, because that is a different experience than 5 milligrams before bed or something. You know,
Right.
it's just that really increases the likelihood that someone has very rightfully a reason to be upset about using it. So.
Well, and I think going back to the whole CBD craze and seeing it everywhere, I think that as much as they're trying to build the industry and create all these products, they're actually having the opposite effect. I came home the other day from work and I had seen CBD signs everywhere. I mean, it was, gas stations, just anywhere along the road. You just see it everywhere. And I told my husband, I said, if I was not in this industry, it would drive me insane.
Yep.
Like it really, really would. They make it seem like, so when people say, is CBD a fad? No, it is a truly beneficial way for consumers and people to see relief from conditions that plague us. The problem is when you have this craze and this insanity that's being shoved in consumers' faces, it works to the exact opposite because consumers are like, I'm done. I don't want to see it anymore. It's ridiculous. They're putting it in pants now. I mean, it must not be real.
Right. It has the opportunity to devalue what you all are doing with the work that you do in relationship to therapeutic and responsible usage and dosage and those kinds of things. And so I know we could probably talk about all the, different parts of the craze that we've seen and all these different products that are out there. But as you think about, your recommendations, it sounds like you guys are really just saying, hey, buyer beware.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Buyer beware and ask why. Ask why.
What's your intent? What's your intent for the product? And, how familiar are you with it? Is this a good use of your money or not? I think it's just, again, go back to look for a legitimate source with someone there who can talk to you about and guide you to find success for that product.
So if someone wanted to find out a little bit more information about your products or recommendations that you all make for therapeutic dosages, where would be a good place for them to find that?
Absolutely. Start on our website, go to our individual products. So you'll see we have recommended serving sizes there. We'll always put information on our blogs as well. But whatever questions you have, send us an email or give us a call. We'll answer them for you.
Awesome. Well, for this episode of Full Spectrum Living with CBD, I am your co-host Meredith here with our hosts Jessica and Adrian, and we will see you all the next time.